Dan and Nzinga here. Guys, thank you for your patience. This is the third conversation that we're having. I know that it takes, time, but I don't want to just jump to all the main stuff because there's a baseline attitude and mentality that you have to be a top producer. Again, these videos are for people who want to be top salespeople. There's a baseline attitude and mentality that I want to create first before I get into the techniques and the good stuff. I just got done reading this great book here, Sell or Be Sold. I recommend you guys picking it up as well and reading it. A lot of good stuff. But even before you can apply these things right, you got to have the personality or the attitude to be able to do it. So today's conversation, I want to talk about product versus process, or process versus product. Take a minute to contemplate which is more important, the product, which is the thing, or the process into getting the thing. Now, the way society basically, in capitalist system, they put the product as the prize, and you're going to go through the process. They'll say, go to school, do 4 years of college, so that you can get a degree, and then so that you can get, a good job. And so the job, in this sense, is the product, and the process is to go through 4 years of college. Go through work, put up with that, so that you can enjoy your retirement. So there's always a process, and then there's a product of whatever you're trying to get. So for now, forget about sales for now. I just want you guys to understand this concept that there's products and then there's processes that get us that. And now we're trying to determine which is more important, which should be focused on mostly. A lot of time motivationals, they'll tell you to stick to your why, which is, the product of whatever you're trying to get. And it doesn't have to be a physical product. It could be a tangible, it could be a, abstract concept or abstract thing. But a lot of times in our society, it's focused on the thing, the car, the house, getting that beautiful wife, which is not a thing, but it's actually a physical thing as well. And they just try to focus on that. To be a top producer, to be the best in your company, you're going to have to shift your thinking to understanding that the process is more important than the product. You have to, in a way, suspend your belief, suspend your idea that you're chasing this product. You're chasing it, but you're using the product to focus on the process. So the product is almost for pretend. I had another video when I said your goals are for pretend. What's really important is the process, and that's absolutely true. Now, it's hard for people to sometimes shift their thinking. Imagine you're taking a journey to go to some place that you love to go to, and you have to see that getting the destination is not actually the reward. The journey is the reward. The minute that the journey is the reward for you, then you will become unstoppable. You become unstoppable in many ways because, you've already successful, basically, as long as you're on the journey. Not getting to the destination isn't going to be such of a letdown because you can continue on that journey, since the journey is what the reward is. So that's how you be unstoppable. So let's say your sales goal is to get a certain amount of sales per month or per year. You've got to enjoy the journey. I guarantee you, if you don't enjoy the journey, when you get the product, it's going to be overrated. You'll still enjoy it, but it's going to feel like, man, I put all this into it just to get this, and it's not going to be there. Once you enjoy the process, and the product is important but less important than the process, then that's when you don't cheat to get to where you're going to get to. That's when you want to enjoy it as much as possible. That's when you do everything you have to do. Okay, so shifting that thinking. Every morning, sometimes I have to remind myself, the process, I try to get, 15 to 20 sales per week, for example. And I know that the process of it, which is getting up in the morning, being motivated, watching videos, taking time to read, I need to fall in love with the process. Because if I don't reach my goals for whatever reason, I haven't been let down because I enjoyed the process. It's part of enjoying the game versus the victory. If they gave you a chance to play a game and you already won before you actually played it, you would feel like, well, yeah, I won, but I want to play. Real players want to play the game. They like the challenges. They like the difficulties. They want to go against tough competitors because they enjoy the game even more than they enjoy the victory. Because if you could separate them and say, okay, you'll win, but you don't have to play, they'll want to play even if they come close to winning and they lose. They'll still want to have gone through the process, through challenging themselves and all that stuff. So to be a top producer, you need to start falling in love with the process that either your company has, that you set for yourself, and the goal is it'll come. But once it comes, you gotta keep chasing it. So you have to enjoy the process. Once I get my 20 sales, it's not over. The game continues. I gotta keep. Okay, next week I'm gonna try to get more. So if you really do not enjoy the process and you just care about the product, which is the goal that you're trying to get to, you're gonna feel empty once you reach it, because then the game is over. You gotta find something else to do. And it's the same way in life. You gotta keep on loving the process of life versus just the end outcome. And I guarantee you, at the end, you're not gonna leave with any prize. At the end of the day, you're just leaving with the memory and the experience of the process. Now, there's another element to this as well. Process more relates to people. You're dealing with the person, whether it be yourself or with people that you're dealing with. So when I'm selling and I choose to forget about the sale, the product, which is I'm trying to get to my conclusion, I'm just solely committed and focused on my experience with this person right now, how I'm helping them right now. It is much more enjoyable, for one, and two, when I get it, or if they don't get it, it's okay. I enjoyed the process. Not to mean that you're not focused on the product, but at the moment, you know that the process, that you're doing everything right. And when I don't get a sale, but I know I did everything right, I helped them do everything right, I feel good. Okay, because I enjoyed the process. Okay, so product mostly focuses on things. What can you get out of it? Process is more about people and the person. As a manager, and I train people to be top salespeople, I want to focus on them as people and develop them as individuals. So my focus is really on people and making sure they go through the process, making sure the process goes right, and that is what the prize is for me. Not the product of what you're going to get, how much money I'm going to get out of it, and all that stuff. That doesn't mean you don't care about the money. You care, but you kind of suspend it for a little bit in your mind, like that's not that important to you. Okay, this is a great philosophy, a great concept to have. Okay, process equals transformation and growth. Okay, just jumping to the thing will not give you transformation. Getting to the place you want to get to, if this doesn't cause a transformation in your life, your goal was too little. You got to set a goal for yourself that's so high, so demanding, that it requires a complete transformation in your life. You have to do something different. If you can just go ahead and get your goal easily without have transformed yourself, having to make some changes, having to have struggled a little bit, then your goal is way too low. And the game is not going to be as fun. When you set the goal high, you control through transformation, you get it, the reward, which is the experience of going through that, feels way better. If you guys watch sports, the victories that are most beautiful is when they struggle the whole time. Either they came from behind, they won by 1 point, hit the last shot at the buzzer, and won, and they're like, yeah, we did it. Climbing the big mountain is greater accomplishment emotionally inside. And why is that? Because the process. Okay, I can go on top of the highest mountain if I fly and get there from a helicopter, versus if I climb there, the experience is different and the reward is different as well. The climbing is the reward. So this video is not going to be as long as the others, but to be a top salesperson, you have to be able to make that shift in your head that the process is more important than the product. That way you're not going to skip through the process. That way you're not going to cheat yourself. That way you're going to stay focused on the process and enjoy the process. The journey is the reward. If you don't enjoy the journey, the reward will seem overrated because you're going to feel like you went through a lot to get this. And that's why a lot of millionaires will commit suicide, because they focused on the product. And when they got the product, they still felt unfulfilled. And they're like, what's left? I got to go through this again just to get this? And they feel like there's nothing left in life and they feel empty. Had they fallen in love or understood that the process is the actual reward, that the product is just a prop in the game, you put something up front of you just to chase it, but the chase is what is more important than the actual carrot in front of you. That's a huge thing, because then you become unstoppable. Then nothing can discourage you. Then you become already successful as long as you're in the process, not when you get the product. Because for you, that's what you want to be. You want to be playing the game. So I don't know if you guys understand, but put comments about that. Give examples. Tell me how you guys feel about that, if you guys understand that concept. And this concept works for almost everything in your life. It's the process. You got to make it more important. I'm not saying it's just as important. No, you got to make the process more important than the product. That's when you'll spend the extra time to focus on a client. When you have that mentality, that's when you can work a little bit longer. That's when you don't complain because you lost a sale, because that sale might come back. That's when you do the best you can, even if you know they're not going to buy from you. You give them the best customer service, and you enjoy the process of serving others. That's when you start to transforming. So it takes time. Get that in your head, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Again, Dan and Nzinga. These videos are made for people who want to be top salespeople in their field. I highly recommend go watch the other videos if you haven't yet, and we'll continue like that. All right, leave your comments if you're serious. Again, the conversation is what creates your progress. All right, talk to you soon.